Will this design work then? I think it's going to be a little bit dicey between these rope supports, but we'll give it a go. See how we go. And it ends poorly. Our major issue was in between the rope supports. I think next time I want those supports to not be connected to the same point to reduce the distance between the rope supports. That means that we are back again to the very first level of the game, and we get to try all over again, beating all of the easy levels before we reach some slightly more difficult levels. But that's okay, it just means we will be a master engineer by the time we eventually make it back. And we're back to level 1-6, building more drawbridges. I reckon by the time that I finish this challenge, I'll be able to speedrun this game incredibly quickly. But for the moment, we're simply building all of the bridges in World 1 again and again and again. And I'm sure there's something in here about the definition of insanity being trying the same thing over and over and over again, but the irony is not lost on me at all. And we've built another working bridge, and would you look at that, we're back at this dreaded level. So as long as we learn something from each time we make it back here, I'm okay having to do this level all over again. So we could try something like this, but then I feel like we don't adequately support the center of the bridge. If we do something like this, our largest gap is 3 pieces across the middle of the bridge, but I'm not sure if that is going to work out nicely. We've got a little extra money, so we will support the edges of our bridge to see if that helps at all. But then I think that we just have to give it a go, see how we go. Let's do this. Do we beat the level now? We start with low stress, we stay with low stress, and we make it across. Let's go! Third time is a charm. Beating level 1-8. On to the next level then, level 1-9, budget cuts, where we have a very low budget indeed to build a bridge for a fairly heavy vehicle. So we're going to start simply by building some supports from both the center of the bridge as well as the left and right sides. We're then going to build some truss supports along the middle, and we're actually, surprisingly enough, fairly under budget. Do I think this design will hold is then the next question. And I'm not sure, but we will give it a go. We'll add some extra supports on both left and the right in the middle of the bridge here, just to give it some extra support. And then we will give it a whirl. And unfortunately, we do break. Ah, it's in the middle. I thought we were secured there nicely. I guess I needed to have them in, so that they were at a right angle. But you live and you learn. Back to the very start it is. Speed running through the very early levels of the game once again. And we'll turn it back up to 300% speed, because we don't need to watch this all out at normal speed if it's something that I've seen again and again and again now. It's gotten to the point where I just know, even this early on, how to beat each of these levels very, very easily. I guess the trouble then, and the real challenge of this playthrough, is going to come later on when there are so many levels that I have to remember that I start forgetting how to beat each individual level, and just have to go back to my sense of intuition and really just rip it and rip it on how to beat each level. But for the moment we're over budget. We need to be under budget for each of our designs, so we'll get under budget, beat the level nice and easily, can get back to. And we're back again to our original nemesis, and we will beat the level nice and easily. That should be all it takes, and it is. Awesome! Back to our budget cuts level, and remembering that our main issue is in the middle of our level, we're going to reinforce that a little more this time. Make sure that it is nice and stable. Do I think that this is enough to beat the level then? Our major issue originally was with the supports down the bottom breaking. So I'm actually going to just beef them up a little bit more. So now they are super strong. Hopefully nothing else breaks and we will beat the level nice and easily. Let's watch it in action. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We then have a break on the very left side of the level here. I wonder if we could have solved that. Just nice, simple design on the left and right side of the bridge. We are over budget then, but I guess you could save in the middle and maybe that would have helped. But we'll have to wait and see to try that out back instead. The very first level of the game. Once again, we're back at level 1-1. For the tedious journey all the way back through the levels that we have already seen time and time again. But it's all part of the fun of the challenge. It's going to make victory oh so sweeter. And then we're done. I definitely got lucky there with the hydraulics because I did not check them before I started the level. And I definitely should have. Trust me, the hydraulics in this game can be an absolute pain to deal with, especially in some of the later, more complicated levels. You'll think that you've got your hydraulics sorted out nicely, and then it'll just turn out that you've got one split joint wrong, and it ruins your entire design. It is one of the worst feelings in this game, trying to diagnose issues with split joints. But what's not complicated is the solution to these early levels. And we're back to this level then, where I will try something new. Just a simple arch on both the left and right sides of our bridge. Got a little money to spend, so we'll just bump up each of these. You can actually get all of them one higher. And then we're $2 over budget on that. So we'll bring these ones in slightly. We're under budget. Do I think that this design will work? Let's find out. We are staying slightly less stressed than we were before. And we do it. We do not have any breaks. We've beaten the level under budget and unbreaking for the very first time. On to level 110 now. And this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. We have a jump, and jumps are notorious in Polybridge 2 for being incredibly difficult to both support and to figure out where your car is going to land. But we'll start off with 3 roads, I think. Is that going to get us far enough though? Or do I need a 4th? Oh, this is difficult. I think it's better to go for more here than it is to go for less. I think if I'm indecisive, I have to go for a 4th. But we'll make it a half road. We'll go 3.5, just for some compromise. And then we will also port this along the top as well. And because we got the money, we'll just over-engineer the bejesus out of this. Deal up the wazoo. Is that jump enough to get us over this gap? Is it enough for us to hit the flag? That is the question, and the answer in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch it. Our car comes down, it hits the jump, our jump stays together, but it's not enough. So, 3.5, not enough. Not at all enough. I guess next time we'll have to try 4, maybe even 5 roads, I think. But, back to the very first level.